Hello, and a very warm welcome to Slow and Simple English. I'm Anna, and I'm so happy you're here today. This is the place where we take our time, breathe deeply, and learn English together, without any pressure.
And I'm David. It's always a pleasure to share this space with you, Anna, and with all of our wonderful listeners around the globe. You know, Anna, as I was thinking about our topic today, I remembered a message we got last week from a listener named Sophia.
Oh, from Greece.
Yes.
I remember it. It really touched me. She said, ... let me see if I can remember, ... She wrote, I feel like I have a whole library of English in my head. I read your transcripts, I understand your voices, but when I need to speak, it's like the door to that library is locked, and I've lost the key. That was it exactly. Such a powerful way to describe that feeling. And Sophia is not alone. We hear this from so many of you. My listening is getting better, but my speaking, ... it just doesn't come out. It can feel lonely and frustrating. It really can. So today, David and I want to sit down with you, as if we're all having a cup of tea together, and talk about this. We want to share not just tips, but a new way of thinking. We want to help you find that key, not to force the lock, but to gently turn it. That's a beautiful way to put it. No forcing, just gentle turning. Today's episode is all about speaking confidence. We're going to explore simple, kind, and very practical ideas that you can start using today, right now, even if you're alone. But before we begin, if you're new here, we'd love for you to be part of our little community. Please hit that subscribe or follow button on your podcast app. It's completely free, and it means you won't miss any of our relaxing conversations. And if this episode helps you, please consider sharing it with one friend who might be feeling the same way. Learning is more fun together. Now, ... let's begin. David, let's start by talking about that freeze moment. Why does it happen? You understand the question, the words are somewhere in your mind, but ... silence. I think it's because listening and speaking use different muscles in our brain. Listening is like ... being in a warm bath. The language flows over you. You relax into it. Speaking is like deciding to get out of that bath, pick up a bottle, and pour the water yourself. It's an active, physical creation. It feels different. That's a perfect analogy. So our first step is to start connecting that understanding to creating. And my first suggestion is so small, you can do it from this very moment. Tip number 1 is become an echo.
An echo?
Yes. Not a shadow that moves at the same time. That can be too fast for beginners. An echo comes just after, when you're listening to this podcast or watching a TV show and you hear a short, clear sentence that you fully understand, ... Pause it, or just wait, and then, softly, say it out loud. Copy the speaker's voice, not to mock them, but to feel the words in your own mouth. Can you give us an example from our conversation right now? Of course, you just said, it's an active, physical creation. If a listener liked that sentence, after you said it, they could just whisper to themselves, it's an active, physical creation. They don't need to analyze grammar, they just repeat the music of it. I love that. It's not about learning from the sentence, but learning the sentence itself as a whole piece. It's immediate speaking practice, and it's completely safe. No one is judging you. Exactly. It builds a bridge. Now, tip number 2 is something you can do all day long without any sound at all. Start thinking in English about your senses. Our senses? Like sight and touch? Yes. This is different from big, stressful thoughts like, how do I explain my job? Start very, very small. Look out the window. What do you see? In your mind, find the words. Tree. Green leaves. Wind is moving the branches. Touch your desk. Wood. Smooth. Cold. Smell your coffee. Strong. Good. So you're not translating from your native language, you're connecting the English word directly to the thing, the feeling, the smell. Precisely. You're building a direct pathway. It takes the middleman, your first language, out of the process for these simple things. And when these basic words become automatic, you have more brain space to think about the more complicated ideas. That makes so much sense. It's like clearing the clutter from the entrance to that library Sophia talked about. Now, my tip number 3 builds on what you're doing with your senses. Collect ready sentences, like little treasures. Oh, tell us more about
Yeah.
this. Well, many learners collect vocabulary lists. Happy equals ghosting. But when they want to say, I'm so happy, they have to build it from pieces. Instead, I suggest you have a small notebook, physical or on your phone, and when you hear a whole, useful sentence, you write down the whole thing. What kind of sentences? Sentences for daily life, the phrases we all use 100 times a day. Instead of just writing tired, write I'm a bit tired today. Instead of hungry, write I'm getting hungry. Or what should we eat? Phrases for conversations. That's a good point. Oh, I see what you mean. Could you say that again? So you're collecting complete tools, not just raw materials. Yes, when you're in a situation, you don't have to manufacture a screwdriver from metal and plastic. You just reach into your toolbox and pull out a ready-made one. It's faster, it works better, and it reduces your stress immediately. I'm going to start doing that for the Spanish I'm learning. Now, all these tips are preparing you, but we have to actually speak. And that's where fear comes in. So tip number 4 is about creating the safest possible space to speak. Talk to yourself for 2 minutes a day. I know. It sounds silly, but hear me out. Choose a time when you're alone in the car, cooking, walking, and just ... narrate what you're doing or how you're feeling in simple English, out loud. Let's try it right now. David, you're sitting in the studio. What are you doing? Talk to yourself. Okay, ... I am sitting in my chair. The chair is black. I am looking at the microphone. It is small and silver. I can hear Anna breathing. I feel calm. The air in the room is cool. That was perfect. No complex grammar, just simple, true statements. That is real speaking. You are communicating with yourself, and by doing that, you are teaching your brain that speaking English is a normal, non-scary activity. It feels a bit strange at first, but it quickly becomes almost peaceful. It's just you and the language. No pressure. Now, tip number 5 is a bigger step, but it's incredibly powerful. Become your own best teacher with a voice recorder. This is the one that makes most people nervous, including me. It does, but the magic is in the listening back, not the recording. Once a week, open the voice memo app on your phone. Take a deep breath. Ask yourself a simple question, like, what was one good thing about this week? Press record and answer. For 1 minute, that's all. And then you have to listen. Yes, but here's the most important rule. When you listen, you are not a judge. You are a kind friend. Listen for what you did well. My pronunciation of good thing was clear. I didn't pause for a long time there. If you hear a word that got tangled, just smile and say, week was difficult. Let me say it clearly now. Week, week, week. You are not finding faults. You are finding friends, words and sounds you want to get to know better. That changes everything. You're not punishing yourself. You're coaching yourself. It's a practice of kindness as much as a practice of English. Exactly. Now, all this practice leads to real conversations. And for that, tip number 6 is always have a life raft phrase. A life raft for when you feel like you're drowning in the conversation. Yes, a little dramatic, but it helps. These are phrases that give you time to think while you're still speaking English gracefully. They stop the panic. Phrases like, that's an interesting question, let me think, ... double quotes, or, well, I've never thought about it that way before, ... or there's a simple and powerful, I'm not sure how to explain this, but ... double quotes. So instead of a scary silence, you have thoughtful, fluent-sounding silence. You're still engaged, you're still communicating, I am thinking, and your brain gets those precious few seconds to find the words. It's a secret weapon for confidence. Now, tip number 7 is about finding your people. Look for a language companion, not a teacher.
This is key.
You don't need a native speaker to practice speaking. Another learner at a similar level is often ideal. Why? The pressure disappears. You are both explorers. You can meet online for 20 minutes and have a simple agreement. We will speak only English. We will help each other. If we don't know a word, we will try to describe it. That last part is the best practice of all. Trying to describe the word bookshelf without saying shelf or book. It's a piece of furniture. You put it on the wall. You store your books on it, ... double quotes. That is real, creative communication. That is fluency. And it's fun. You'll laugh together, and laughter is the best way to melt fear. Which brings us to our final, and perhaps most important, point. Tip number 8. Change your relationship with mistakes. This is the heart of it, David. We are taught that mistakes are bad. Red pen, wrong answer. But in language learning, that idea is a prison. We need to see mistakes not as walls, but as signposts. A mistake is a clear, kind sign that says, hello, pay a little attention to this area. Here is something to learn. Every time you make a mistake and are understood, you have won. You communicated. Think of a child learning to walk. They fall 100 times. Do we say, you're bad at walking? No, we celebrate every wobbly step. We need to be that kind and encouraging for ourselves. Your goal is not to never fall. Your goal is to travel farther, more steadily, and with more joy each day. So please, please, be brave. Speak. If you say, I go yesterday, and the other person understands I went yesterday, you have successfully shared your story. The communication happened. That is a victory. Celebrate it. Let's gently review our 8 gentle steps, shall we? Let's. 1. Be an echo. Repeat short, clear sentences after you hear them. 2. Think in English through your senses. Connect words directly to the world around you. 3. Collect ready sentences. Keep a notebook of whole, useful phrases. 4. Have a daily 2-minute chat with yourself. Narrate your simple world. 5. Use a voice recorder as a kind coach, not a judge. Listen for your successes. 6. Keep life raft phrases ready to give yourself thinking time in conversations. 7. Find a language companion, another learner to explore with, without pressure. And 8. See mistakes as helpful signposts, not failures. Celebrate communication. You don't need to do all of these today. Maybe just pick one. The one that feels the kindest, the one that feels possible, and start there. We believe in you, truly. We hear from listeners who start with these small steps, and months later, they write to us to share a small victory. I ordered food in English and I wasn't nervous. I had a 5-minute conversation with my colleague. Every journey begins with a single, quiet step. We would love to be part of your journey. So, our question for you this week is this. Which of these 8 ideas feels most comforting to you? Is it the idea of being an echo or talking to yourself? Tell us. You can write to us on our website or on social media. We read every message. Sharing your choice might inspire another listener who feels just like you do. Remember, you are not alone in this. Thank you so much for your time, for your courage, and for trusting us with your English learning. Be patient with yourself. Be kind to your voice. It has so much to say. Until next time, keep things slow, keep things simple, and keep speaking. Goodbye for now.